Hello everyone! I'm just gonna basically say what I do and don't like about each of the units in Project Sekai. You can take this with a grain of salt because this is 100% a personal opinion. So come at me if you want, I'm probably gonna ignore you. Just for the record, concerning the virtual singers, I'm not doing them. There's just too many songs to judge them on, and that's just... yeah, that's not what I'm here for. Anyway, Leonid! I like their music and the character designs and voices. Also, do you like the low quality image I grabbed? But I do like them as characters. Not as much as other groups, but yeah, they're okay. I also really like their outfits. But for me personally, the one carrying this group is Saki. She's my favorite of Leonid. She's definitely up there in my favorite characters. She's just, I don't know, I just like her. She's so happy, and she gives energy. Despite her tragic backstory, because everyone sorta gets one, and I say sorta. But the thing I don't like about Leonid is that why does Ichika get so many freaking lines in all of the commissioned songs? Like, she gets more lines than any other character. It's ridiculous. And before you go and say, oh, they're a band and she's the vocalist, the same thing applies to N25. Like, Enna and Mizuki literally are only there for the video making. They don't usually sing in the videos according to how the characters react when they meet them. They're like, oh, I love your work with the videos and stuff. Yeah, so I feel like, especially in the focus songs, where it's like, let's use an example, okay? We'll use the recent show-off, the event Saki just had. Like, she got less lines than Ichika, and it was her focus song. What? How is that fair? And it was a good song, too. It's just like, Saki should have definitely gotten more. Yeah, that's literally that's my biggest issue with Leonid. And the fact that sometimes Ichika gets too many songs. Like, I want more of Saki. I like her voice. Shiho has, in my opinion, a better voice than Ichika. They're not bad at singing. I just prefer Shiho's and Saki's because there's a more, how do you say this? They're more distinctable than, Ichika. Anyway... More Jump! I really like them as a whole. I like the concepts and the fact that instead of being part of an agency, they're just sort of indie idols. And they're doing a really good job, too. The recent event that just happened, or I guess is happening because I'm recording it when it's happening. The one with Parasol Cider as the commission song. It's really good. I like it. I also love their outfits. Would never wear them. The skirts are too short for my personal preference. But yeah, what I don't like about them, I guess, are the way it's supposed to be written. It's supposed to be that Haruka and Shizuku are supposed to have more of an idol aura than Minori and Airi, but for me it's the other way around. For me, it's Minori and Airi are more, I don't know, out there than Shizuku and Haruka. And that just never made sense to me, why they would try to write it the other way. It just doesn't hit with me the same way that the story wants me to. And that's fine, I guess. I also I wish Airi was the center instead of Minori. I know why Minori's the center. I read the main story. She's basically the only reason the other three even continued being idols. But Airi's voice is the most distinctible of the group, and it's in the best way possible. She brings so much energy, and I think she would have been the better choice. Because her and Minori's stories are already pretty similar. I feel like Airi would have been the better choice. It's not that they're bad. All of them are good singers, obviously. The VAs would have not been hired for these roles if they weren't. But I'm saying, for the purposes of more Jump, I think Airi would have been the better center, especially since she takes on a good chunk of the leadership roles in the group anyway. Vivid Bad Squad. I love everything about them. Well, almost everything. I love everything about them character-wise, music-wise, and even, like, outfit-wise. They are my favorite outfits of the group. Mainly Toya's, I would wear his, and probably Akito's, but it's 3 layers of jackets. I do not wear 3 layers of jackets. But yeah, I love how comfy they look, and I also just like, I don't know, the color. I also think it's really cute how Kohane is trying the most because she's wearing a backwards cap. Even though no one does that anymore, I think it's really cute. For their music, I think they have like some of the best music in the game. Except for that one song. I don't think it's an archived song. I just want Akito and N's V8 to know it was not your fault. You guys did your best. I just don't think that song was directed the right way. Also, that song was composed for Vocaloids. It wasn't composed for people. So it's kind of hard to make it sound right. But if you guys don't know the cover I'm talking about, it's the Gimme Gimme cover. They had Akito and Andu. And it did not go super great. It could have been approached better, but oh well. But yeah, I hope the VAs know that was not their fault. I guess the one issue I would have with these guys is the fact Akito is not the leader of the group or the owner of the Sekai. That's what bothers me the most, is that it's Kohane and not Akito. Either Akito's more of the leader of the group, and in terms of ambition, I feel like you see that more in him, and even Ann. Him and Ann share the ambition more than what I've seen Kohane show. And I've read all these events, like, thoroughly, because I'm a huge fan of this group. So I feel like Akito would have made the much better choice to put as the center again for the Sekai. He just makes more sense to me. I get that I know that Sekais are technically supposed to be a culmination of the 4 of them when it comes to the emotions that made the Sekai, but there's usually one person where it's the strongest, and I felt like it should have been Akito, not Kohane. No hate to Kohane. She's a great character. I just think in terms of this, Akito would have been the better choice. But that's obviously just me. Wonderland's Showtime. Now, I'm a huge fan of this group. I literally I can't think of a single bad thing for them. They're just so fun. All of their songs are great, especially the ones Rui are in. Their outfits are great too. I wouldn't wear them personally. I might wear Rui's, but maybe switch up the jackets a little too much for me. But I literally love this group. I love their story. I love where it's going. I have nothing bad to say about this group. The one thing that bothers me, and this isn't even related to anything that happens in game or group design choices by the game. I think putting Tsukasa as the center was the absolute best thing they could have done. Anyone else, it would not have worked. So good on them. But I'm still mad that they got rid of the Showtime Ruler event, because that song was a commissioned song. It's part of Rui's main story, and they didn't give us the event because Twitter labeled the cards as culture appropriation. Like, are you serious? If that's culture appropriation, then so is every single fantasy anime. Every single one. Because it was Alchemist themed. Like, his card was Alchemist themed, and I think there were, I think Emus and Nenes were more, I don't really remember, Editor Me will pull them up, but they weren't in the same, fantasy theme-ish, I guess. They were more, tribal, and I guess that's where the issue fell. But, like, still, there have been plenty of other series that have done stuff like that much, much worse. And by the way, those outfits don't even show up in the stories at all. Not even the card stories. They're just decorative pieces. And I don't even think Emu and Nene were like any of the 4-star cards. I think they were the 3 and 2-star, which means it's not even an MV outfit. It's only a decorative for the card. Like, what? They got mad over that? I am never forgiving. I guess it's X now, but I'm still gonna call it Twitter because X is a dumb name. But I'm never forgiving Twitter for that because it's so stupid. Like, if you're gonna dox a game, this is a game. If you're gonna dox a game for cultural appropriation in that specific event. You have to dox every single fantasy anime that's ever existed, every single, almost practically every historical anime that's ever existed, and it's ridiculous. I think that Sega or Colorful Palette, whichever one runs the game, Krypton maybe, who knows, I don't. I think they should have ignored Twitter and just went ahead and did the event, because I promise you they would have made a good chunk of money, because it was a Rui event. He's the most popular character. It would have made serious bank if they had just ignored Twitter. And I promise you, even if there were some triggered players that event happened, they probably would have made enough money to compensate for that, because wars in fandoms like this can get pretty freaking big. So, if you're gonna make a cash grab game like this one, do it right and use your most popular character to your advantage. And 25, why it's in Japanese, unlike the other ones, was this was the only high quality one I could find. Like, high quality-ish. Like, put like your so-and-so hand motion in there. I love their music. Honestly, they hit a core with me too much. I made a different video on that one ENA event. I think it was called On This Blank Canvas I Paint. That event hit a little too close to home. So there was that. Also, I feel like out of the group, they're the most relatable. Like, they're all trying their best to live their lives, and yet they have all these issues surfaced underneath, which it kind of goes for every character, but these guys show that more, and I feel like that was well done. I like their outfits for their Sekai. It's simplistic, it fits the theme, and I just personally love wearing black, so that's a me thing. And all of their beat maps are really, really fun. I haven't had there was one commission song that did not vibe with me, and it was one of Kanade's. It was, what is it called? Tricolage or something like that. And it's not that it was bad, it just was not my vibe, that's all. It's a pretty good song. I haven't listened to the full version, though. The one thing that bothers me, again, like with Wonderland Showtimes, wasn't even about them, it was about the fandom reacting to them. I've seen a bunch of people complain that Mafuyu is getting too much attention in the storyline, and normally I would agree, because it kind of runs into the same issue with Ichika. She's just like too prominent. But with Mafuyu, it's a little bit different. If you remember the main story, it was basically about these guys trying to save Mafuyu. That is the whole story. And I'm pretty sure that this Sekai is not Kanade's. I'm pretty sure it's Mafuyu. I think the Sekai was born from Mafuyu's feelings, and then the other three just sort of shared them. Is the thing, because Mafuyu was able to lock herself away in Sekai and basically force the V-singers to kick the others out. So I feel like that's a sign that it's Mafuyu's Sekai and not Kanade's. And the other thing is that, as I said earlier, the whole story for N25 is about saving Mafuyu, mainly. They do work on the other issues the other characters have, but the reason why Kanade's flipped from working on her personal story so fast to helping Mafuyu's story was because she's so focused on making the song that'll save Mafuyu that it will become her whole focus. Because she has a savior complex, let's be real here. She has a savior complex. Not the godly kind, like she's the savior of the world, but she thinks like she's in N25 is like the only one that can help Mafuyu. And honestly, at this point, I'm kind of starting to agree. As for why she's being more prominent in Mizuki and Ena's events, again, main story about saving Mafuyu, but also I think through Mafuyu, they're starting to realize their own issues and are able to confront them more. Let's also not forget that, and this is a JP event spoiler, so editor me, if you could like write a timestamp to when I stop, that's great. But anyway, in the JP event for Mizuki, the one with Kitty, I think, She was the one that told Mafuyu it was okay to run away. Like, they have these interactions that help Mafuyu with their own story because they also needed to do it. And then that helps Mafuyu later on, you know? So I feel like the N25 thing as a whole is about helping Mafuyu. I have no idea how their stories will end. I think they're only getting 4 songs each, so I think Mafuyu's main story is done. The rest of it's going to be told through the other 3. And I could be wrong there too, but I think they did a great job. But yeah, that's it. I didn't mention like my favorite songs of theirs or anything like that, so if you guys want a different video for that, let me know. But yeah. Also, I'm going to put this here. From September 5th to like the 17th, I'm not going to be able to work on YouTube at all. Any video in there is either going to be low quality or like, you know, like a rhythm game playthrough or like non-existent. So, yeah. Also, can you tell I don't script these? I don't like scripting these. Alright, I'll see you guys next time. Have a great day, evening, night. Bye-bye!